Hey guys, you're watching BTech. I'm Basil. This is a video comparison of the iPhone 7 Plus and the Huawei Mate 9's cameras. Two cameras loaded up with image stabilization. Both have 12 megapixels in the primary cameras. How do they stack up against each other? Well, that's what this vid's all about, obviously, guys. Side by side, I'm hand holding them, so image stabilization should be kicking in. You can also switch on additional image stabilization in the settings on the Huawei. That might mean the optical image stabilization, though I'm guessing that actually means the digital image stabilization supplementing it. First up, we can actually test the zoom. Here's where the iPhone should win out because it has a 2 times digital optical zoom paired with that digital zoom. So you're going to have to excuse the camera moving on the Huawei. But these are two pretty big phones. These are handheld videos, so I'm gonna have to do this all with a load of pinching. Right, closest zoom. You can see, based on what's going on screen, the iPhone gets in closer at 6 times, though the Huawei Mate 9 seems to be holding everything a bit stiller. Pulling down, panning. Apologies for the subject matter, guys, I'm not trying to be weird, but maybe that'll do a little bit better. Pigeon on top of the statue, pan out into the distance, and you can see if we pull so they're around the same focal length, roughly the same focal length. Yeah, the Huawei, based on what's going on screen, still seems to be holding everything a little bit more steady. Right, now that's back to evens. Let's check out exposure and how exposure shifting works. Up the sky, down at the ground. Up the sky, down at the ground. We can walk a little bit so you can see the image stabilization with relatively standardized walking, nothing too aggressive. And now let's pull in on an object so we can test out macro performance. So pulling in on the same object, these two are as close as I can get because they're both such big phones. We can't actually get them to focus on exactly the same object. So get a bit closer. Right, closest focal range goes to, oh nope, the Huawei can do it. Getting in a bit closer. Yeah, they can both get really, really nice and close in on stuff. What's ace about the iPhone is that the second sensor has the same focal range or similar focal range to its other sensor, so it can actually get in closer. But when you're hand holding, because the second sensor doesn't have optical image stabilization, it doesn't keep everything quite as steady. So you should also be able to gauge how the microphones perform, as I have been alternating from one to the other, and ultimately gauge how the two stack up generally. If you've got any questions about either phones, please let me know in the comments section below. Suffice to say, these can also both record 4K video too, and I have done a 4K video test on the Huawei Mate 9. But yeah, like this video, click that like button, like the channel, subscribe. It's how you'll stay on top of everything that we do. Thanks for watching BTech.